Difference between the direct democracy and indirect democracy. Direct democracy is also known as pure democracy, and indirect democracy is also known as representative democracy. In direct democracy, the will of the state is directly or indirectly expressed through the people. But in indirect democracy, principle of elected officials representing a group of people. It refers to a form of a government wherein the citizens out directly take part in the administrative of the government, and in indirect democracy it implies a democracy in which the people vote for their representative to represent them in the parliament. Government policies are decided by the people themselves. In indirect democracy, people elect their representatives to take decisions on the government policies. Whole community forms legislature, and in indirect democracy, representatives of the winning party forms government and are the part of the legislature. Countries whose population size is small, there only direct democracy can be suitable. But countries whose population is large, then there is indirect democracy is suitable. In direct democracy, all people can participate and become the member of legislature, but in indirect democracy, it is not able for all the people to be the candidate or to be the member of the legislature. What do you think about the capital punishment, whether it is essential or not? Capital punishment means the legally authorized killing of a someone as a punishment for a crime. Capital punishment is a legal penalty in India. There is no credible evidence that the capital punishment or the death punishment deters the crime more effectively than long terms of the imprisonment. States that have that have death penalty laws do not have a lower crime rates or a murder rates than the states without such laws. So by removing capital punishment, it is not going to increase or decrease the rates of the crimes. But if we are having capital punishment in our country, then there will be some fear in the minds of the criminals that will stop their act motive to hurt others. According to me, it is essential to have the capital punishment in our country. Which principles of socialism have been adopted for the Indian society, and in which provision of the Indian constitution they are expressed? Socialism believes that there should be no class, no competition, no religion, no sector, no discrimination, and all the people are equal and same in all class. Socialism is the ideology which thinks the welfare of the entire human society. It tells to adopt the movement of common good. So this principle of socialism we should adopt in our Indian society, so we will be strong in all aspects. The word socialist was added to the preamble of the Indian Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of the 1976 during the emergency. It implies social and economic equality. According to the Article 15 of the Indian Constitution, prohibits the discrimination of the India on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, or the place of the birth. Articles which are mentioned in Constitution about the socialism are right to equality, then right to freedom, right against exploitation, and right to freedom of religion. Only these four rights are mentioned which are about the socialism. Next is, if one entered on the no entry road, then what kind of the punishment has to be given, and which theory of punishment is applicable to this? If one entered in the no entry road area, then the person has to pay fine according to the demand of that owner. If the owner wants fine, then you have to compulsory give the fine. So here in this condition, everything depends on the owner. For this case, compensation theory of the punishment is applicable, but only when the owner takes fine, then only it is called as the compensation theory of punishment. On what grounds do you support the political obligation? So the reasons are the need of the state, fear of disorder and anarchy, matter of habit and tradition, fear of punishment, respect for might of a state, religion, legitimacy of a source of a law, rationality and usefulness of a law. These are all the reasons. And the theories of political obligation are divine theory, consent, idealistic, Marxian, social contract theory, the theory of good, the theory of general will, prescriptive, traditional, or the conservative theory. So these are all the reasons and the grounds of political obligation. Next is, what is the difference between the power, authority and legitimacy? So first here, power, authority and legitimacy concepts are explained. Next is the authority. And legitimacy. And this is the difference between the power, authority and legitimacy.